Jamal Adams has demanded a trade from the third worst team in New York, and it must be a really tough time being a Jets fan these days. Your quarterback that is supposed to be the future is seeing ghost, and your management cannot get a deal done with someone who they drafted to be a star. Jamal Adams has become that star. He has more than exceeded expectations. And the Jets, when it comes to signing another contract, are like,
no, I don't really feel like it.
he was first team All-Pro last year and has been a Pro Bowler the past 2 years in a row. He's the second leading sack leader on your team at 6.5 sacks. His sacks accounted for was 20% of the Jets' total sacks last year, and he's a player that affects every level of the Jets' defense. People hate on Bill O'Brien, who's also in the AFC, but the Jets front office is making Bill O'Brien look like a genius. At least he had the balls to move off a star, no matter how idiotic. The Jets organization, in my opinion, is full of bumbling idiots.
I don't quite get that Bill O'Brien take, but we're going to move on. In 2018, Jamal Adams tweeted out, I don't want you to explain it for you. Now shut up and dribble. The culture has changed, he said. I've been telling y'all, the Jets are different this year. This is just the beginning. The Jets were not different that year. They had a very Jets-like campaign, finishing last in the AFC East, and, predictably, they fired their coach, replacing him with Adam Gase. Since Gase's arrival, New York has known nothing but suffering. The supposed QB whisperer has alienated their star player and stunted the development of Sam Darnold. And Jamal Adams is so angry at this point, he is demanding a trade. And we'll get to where we think he's going later, but this is just such a Jets move. Jets, suck, suck, suck.
Well, the reason I said the Bill O'Brien take is that Bill O'Brien, at least, he trades DeAndre Hopkins, even though it's absolutely stupid. The Jets, they just kind of contemplate trading Jamal Adams. They contemplate giving him an extension, even though he's probably the most talented safety in the NFL. And they don't do anything. They make him angry, don't trade him, and actually do something to affect their roster. And they're just sitting with their what's in their hands. Because we don't. I mean,
you're acting like he's left in free agency already. He's still on the roster and will be for a while.
I'm talking about how the Jets are treating him and handling the situation.
I mean, they will definitely get traded. I think he's tanked his own value, which is a little bit rude by declaring it publicly that he's demanding a trade. But the Jets are going to trade him. They will get rid of him. They won't get that much in return because he's made public he doesn't like it here. But Jamal Adams will not be a Jet by the end of the season.
The Jets also, though, back last season, told the owner or general manager, whoever it was, told him that he wasn't going to be traded. And then they go around and field offers from the likes of the Cowboys and I think a few other teams. So they kind of disrespected him there, too. So why does he owe them the respect of demanding a trade publicly?
Tristan, if they offered Ezekiel and Dak Prescott for Jamal Adams, you'd be an idiot not to take that trade. You'd be an idiot not to listen to any team.
Clearly, that wasn't the trade offer.
They just got no value. Players need to stop getting offended by saying, oh, if they could trade me for high-level players or first-round picks. It's the NFL. It's a business. Get out of your feelings. That stuff's going to happen.
But they told him he wasn't going to be traded. It's not
Things
like
change.
Things change real quickly then.
Yeah, it's in New York. What do you expect? Big city, hustle and bustle. You're the top of the world one minute, then you're on the Jets the next.
Anyway, the few teams that Jamal Adams wants to trade to include the Ravens, Cowboys, Texans, Chiefs, Eagles, 49ers, and Seahawks. Basically a bunch of teams that have a shot at the Super Bowl other than the Cowboys. And I don't blame him. As I stated earlier, the Jets are morons. And for the Cowboys fans out there, you are not getting him and keeping Dak Prescott at the same time. Jamal wants to get traded and wants to also reset the market. He reportedly is looking for more money than his current teammate, CJ Mosley, who's making $17 million plus a year. And the highest paid safety right now, I believe, is Eddie Jackson, making $14.6 million a year. And you really think the Cowboys can afford that? The Cowboys are already so top-heavy with the salary of Amari Cooper, Jalen Smith, Zach Martin, DeMarcus Lawrence, who underperformed last year, Tyron Smith, Zeke, the list goes on. They're not going to be able to sign Dak to a $35 million contract or more, and also re-sign Jamal Adams, who wants a new deal. It's just not going to happen. If they do make this trade, this roster absolutely disintegrates into oblivion within the next 3 seasons.
Well, you're foolish to say that the Cowboys would be stuck in cap hell. If they're getting Jamal Adams, they're probably trading one or two of those guys you've named off. I doubt that it's just going to be straight draft picks if they do the deal with the Cowboys, but for once you're right about something. I do not see Jamal Adams going to the Cowboys. Jerry Jones is not going to come get him like he tried to go get Earl Thomas. Instead, he will be going to the other team in the NFC East. The Eagles are a great fit for Jamal Adams. And I think they are a team which is very capable of shuffling some cap around and making room for trades and maybe not even having to give up that many pieces on the current roster. They are a team which could send draft picks away to the Jets. I think the Eagles are the most likely spot. The other teams, the Ravens are struggling with cap. The Texans are the Texans, and I have no faith in Bill O'Brien. Chiefs are about to sign Patrick Mahomes to the biggest contract ever, so they're not going to have much room for cap. Same deal with the Seahawks. They signed a massive contract to Russell Wilson, and the 49ers are also dealing with Jimmy Garoppolo's contract. So I just feel like the Eagles are the best place for Jamal Adams to go with the cap and with the roster they have in terms of trade pieces.
It's crazy to me. Isaiah, you agree with me. I agree with you somewhat. That the Eagles are one of the most intriguing teams I could see Jamal going to. The Chiefs and Ravens, I think it would be spectacular to watch them go there. You mentioned they do have cap problems. The Chiefs are going to have to pay Patrick Mahomes soon. The Ravens do still have Lamar Jackson on a rookie deal and a favorable contract, but getting to watch Jamal Adams on the Ravens play with Earl Thomas, or Jamal Adams on the Chiefs get to play on Tyrann Mathieu, watching two all-pro safeties on either team, it would be spectacular. It'd be one of the best safety duos, I think, in recent history besides Cam Chancellor and Earl Thomas. And we're probably not going to get it, like you said, but that would be, I think, the coolest scenarios that make those teams, their defense is much more better. Also, why I think the Eagles are intriguing, you didn't mention it exactly, is that the Eagles just got Darius Slay. So with Jamal...
Big play Slay.
So with Jamal Adams playing at safety and Darius Slay, who's been probably a top 5 corner the past few years, not necessarily last year, he's injured a little bit. He's been a Pro Bowler a few times, I think the past few years too. If he goes there, I think the Eagles defense gets that much better. They get 2 elite secondary players. And with the 49ers, their defense would get even better, but I don't think they'll necessarily make the move because of where they're going to be looking to. I think they're going to be looking more to move their money towards the offense and strengthen the offensive core. Their defense was the second best in the NFL last year.
I will say, Jamal Adams was quoted earlier saying that he dreams of playing for a team like the 49ers with their ridiculous front seven.
I mean,
so that might also be something to look at. I wouldn't say it's a non-factor. I think the 49ers are in it about the same as some of the other top teams. They're not out of it by any means.
No, they're not out of it, but I wonder with how good the 49ers defense is, do they look to add Jamal Adams to really solidify that secondary, or do they look to add more offensive pieces since Jimmy Garoppolo appears to not be the most elite quarterback in the NFL? They don't, outside of Deebo Samuel and their backfield, they don't have the most offensive weapons. So I don't know. They may look to move their money more towards their offense.
There's this Emmanuel Sanders guy.
Isn't he on a different team
correction.
now?
There isn't this Emmanuel Sanders guy.
Yeah.
But if Jimmy Garoppolo's not an elite quarterback, you're not signing wide receivers, and you're probably not even signing offensive pieces. You've got the running back committee, and I think you just roll with them, and you just build your defense. But I think the Eagles are going to sign him. Do you know why I want the Eagles to sign him?
So you get to watch him steal the ball out of Daniel.
Suffer.
So you can watch him steal the ball out of Daniel Jones' hands twice a year.
So the Giants can get beaten by elite defenses 6 times a year.
Listen, Danny Dimes will dot them up and down the field as he continues to develop and throw lasers.
Chase Young is going to sack Daniel Jones about 7 times this year.
Chase Young
and
is going to do shit.
You're still going to be happy that you beat the Redskins in a meaningless game so you could draft an offensive tackle 5 positions too early.
Listen, there was a dude hating on you for your Andrew Thomas and Matt Pert take in a video.
Look, I'm sorry they don't watch film and don't understand offensive line. I pity less intellectual people. But hey, what are you going to do? Anyway, that has been our thoughts on Jamal Adams. Let us know where you think he's going, if you think he's going anywhere, down in the comments below. And give us a thumbs up if you want us to keep producing content, which Adam Gase could never.
If also follow us, or if you want to listen on a different platform, we're on all other platforms.